Hey everyone, today we're going to be going over my top 10 loadouts for Warzone Caldera Season 1. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. One thing before we start, this is just my opinion. I'm only a 1.4 KD, but in saying that, I think 80% of these are top tier viable. The other 20% maybe you could argue otherwise. For my late run restock class, so this is the class, I put it on the bottom, so I've had this since season 1 in Verdansk. It's just easier, I know it's there all the time, and essentially I'm getting fully loaded, I'm getting Ghost, and I'm getting a decent AR that's pretty versatile. So that is the good old faithful Grau. A lot of people use this. You don't have to, you can do away with the optic and turn that into a fully loaded perk. Apart from that, it's pretty standard build. Monolithic suppressor, the longest barrel, Archangel. We've got the Commando foregrip and the 50 round mag. And then I just run the Akimbo. Could be late game. Probably not the best for the open field, but in buildings, I still like to run the Akimbo Renettis. So monolithic, burst fire, light trigger, and the 27 round mag, and also fully loaded perks. So just in case I do have an SMG on me, I'm good to go. Next one up the list is Overkill Sweat 2. So this is if you just want to be a complete sweat. This is probably usually if you're trying to get a high kill game or you're in a competition, you're going to essentially grab, two meta guns or two top tier guns. So I've been really enjoying the Cooper Carbine and the Well gun. This thing does have a lot of visual recoil, but it definitely packs a punch. Pretty standard build here. I've got recoil booster for the barrel, short barrel, slate reflector because the iron sights on this gun I'm just not a fan of. The Gawain skeletal stock. You could also run the removed, but that recoil control, it's already got enough. So I should say it doesn't have enough, and it just adds to it. So I just run a bit more movement speed because mouse and keyboard, I tend to ADS a little bit more. Steady underbarrel, 48 round mag. This is big mag, lengthened ammunition, polymer grip, acrobatic, and quick. So just trying to stay quick because, I am going a little bit slower with that stock choice there. For the Cooper, we're running MX silencer, the Cooper custom barrel, G16 optic, Cooper 45 weight stock, skeletal underbarrel, 60 round drum, lengthened ammunition, polymer grip, tight perk, and the fully loaded. So once again, this gun, you could argue that the Bren is top tier viable, but I just love this gun. That little bit of extra mobility, you just for that trade off with the LMG, you don't get as much range. Mid to far mid or medium range fights, this is definitely my go-to. Overkill Sweat 1, so this is the primary loadout, and you could say it's a little bit better than number 2, but I digress. MP40, this is no secret, everyone knows this is just complete meta build, recoil booster, the Krosnick barrel, slate reflector, because I don't mind it without the sight, but while it's there, it visually lowers that recoil, so why not? Folding stock, Mark 5 skeletal underbarrel, 45 round mag, lengthened ammunition, polymer grip, unmarked, and quick for the perks. Now you're probably going to say, why don't I run incendiary? For some reason, I know you don't really notice bullet velocity on an SMG, but I just like the lengthened. There's something about the incendiary rounds I just can't. When you're shooting people and they're on fire, which is good, but it kind of throws me off with the optic of the yellow dot on the slate reflector. And paired with that, we have the old faithful STG. I love this gun, but it did cop a bit of a nerf in regards to recoil. So I run the MX silencer, VDD barrel, G16 optic, which everyone's running, the weighted stock, skeletal underbarrel, 50 round mags, lengthened ammunition, polymer grip, vital perk, and obviously fully loaded. Very standard meta build there. I think everyone's running it, but yeah, if you want to sweat it out, this is the loadout to run. Going up to the list, we got my first sniper overkill class. You may be a bit of a shock here. There's no Vanguard weapons. The Vanguard snipers are just not hitting it, and I've always been a big fan of the SPR. So my SPR, I've got to run the monolithic suppressor. I don't run a barrel just to try and keep that ADS speed super fast. Tac laser to speed it up even more again. The Sol Zero 28mm, I don't like the variable scope. and the 300 normal round mags, and the focus perk. So obviously, if you're coming up someone with a Bren or, you know, another machine gun or an AR, this just helps you that little bit more. Been running this ever since the SPR came out, and I haven't looked back. You could argue, like I said, I am on mouse and keyboard. If you're on controller, I'd probably run the Car 98 with, you know, all the top tree attachments. Paired with that, I run the XM4. I know there's plenty other viable options, but on this list, I was trying to have a lot of variety. I do like the Cooper Carbine. I even like the M19, but this still, in my opinion, packs a punch. So with it, I try to keep, you know, the recoil control, because I'm not that good at controlling the recoil, but obviously I want to keep it, you know, nimble as well. So you're trying to do two things. So I'm just putting a normal suppressor on it, no barrel, Tiger Team Spotlight, Microflex LED. You can maybe run without an optic and put a grip on for a bit more ADS, but once again, I just like to run that LED for them more longer engagements. Wire stock and the 45 round mag. So this is my obviously fully loaded Ghost class. So 9 times out of 10, I'll pick an overkill loadout, whether it be snipe, overkill, 1 or 2. And then I want to keep them weapons, but I'm more or less wanting the Ghost perk, so I'll just grab this one. The reason why I haven't got it stocked up with anything else is because I don't want to give someone else that's coming through the advantage of picking up one of my fully leveled up guns. So I've just got a stock automaton here with the fully loaded perk, and obviously this is going to be next to being useless. And obviously the 1911, but I don't have it leveled up where to get the fully loaded perk. This is definitely one of my bias class, but I still think this is top tier viable. It may not be the meta, but it's knocking on the door, and I think it's one of the most slept on classes as a whole. First up, we have the Fin. There's been videos coming on it. It's the fastest TTK LMG in Warzone. With it, I'm running the tactical suppressor, advantage barrel, Corp hollow sight. I'm not really a fan of the VLK, to be honest. A commando foregrip just to help with that recoil control, make it more of a beam, and the 100 round belt. I haven't even leveled this thing fully up. I had it on my old account and I loved it, but I need to maybe get a faster mag on this. But this 100 round belt, it's very good for squads. Second one is my more mobility SMG build, even though it's the more of an AR. That's the AS Val. We've got the OSSA VLK barrel, tac laser, mini reflex. I like to run a sight on this. Rubberized grip tape to help with that recoil control, and the 30 round mag. Thing is here, you could argue that this is meant for solos and duos, and I'd agree with you. This is the fastest TTK gun in the game, and it absolutely melts. Next up, we have the Cold War Overkill setup. So obviously, this is probably my most favorite AR out of all of the integrations by far. There's something about the C58. It's just... It does have a bit of bounce, but it's controllable and predictable, and that's all I want out of an AR. So it's a very typical build: agency suppressor, task 4 barrel, axial arms, clean sight, field agent grip to help with that, like I said, that bobble, and the 55 round drum. Apparently this gun has the highest KD of users, so you can't really go wrong if you can hit your shots. And obviously the OTS-9, this was a bit of a fan favorite. I wouldn't say it's my most favorite SMG, but I like to have a Cold War as well as a Modern Warfare loadout, and this was dominant for a long time. Doesn't hit as hard as some of the Vanguard SMGs, but it's still fun to use, and it's still, I believe it's still one of the fastest SMGs. So obviously GRU suppressor, task force, skeletal stock for that movement speed, bruiser grip to help with that recoil control, and the 40 round fast mag. Next up is my snipe ghost class. So this is if I got an overkill loadout and then I realize we're in a very open scenario or on the side of a hill, it's going to benefit me more to maybe play sniper support with my team, or even in solos. So I won't go over the SPR loadout again. It's the same as the other one, and then obviously just the Renetti with it. The reason why I'm running it is ghost, and then obviously the sniper. After that, I like to have an SMG ghost class as well. Sometimes I find a god tier gold STG off the ground. I know there's one in the spawn loot table at the moment, and I go, you know what? I'm happy with running this. Just give me a ghost SMG, and then we're fine, and we can move on from there. Same as the MP40 as before, and then I've just got any pistol because I just know I'm not going to use it. And to finish out, we have the Cooper Carbine. I love this gun. This is definitely one of my favorite Vanguard. I did like the STG, but after the nerf, it's just dropped down. This thing is awesome. You're still going to lose. I still have lost gunfights to the Bren in this, but this just gives me that mobility speed. MX silencer, Cooper custom barrel, G16 optic, 45 RS stock, Carver foregrip, 60 round drums, lengthened ammunition, polymer grip, tight grip, and fully loaded. So pretty meta build there. Like I said, the only thing I think you'll lose to at far ranges is the Bren, but any other ARs, you've got a fighting chance. That's it, guys. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. Obviously, I can't label all the guns. I know there's not a Bren in there, but everyone runs the Bren, so, you know, if you want to run that, you're more than welcome to swap it out. I might do a few honorable mentions. The Bruin absolutely slaps. If you don't want to level up an LMG like the Bren, still run the Bruin. It's an awesome gun. A little bit more recoil, but it still packs a punch. The M4 assault rifle, that thing is very consistent. Always has been. Hasn't been touched for ages. Still a solid, viable gun. And then more than likely to have it leveled up. And obviously, and if I'm playing on controller, obviously for the snipers, everyone's running it is the Kar 98. And the Bullfrog and the PPSH from Cold War. Both of them guns, great. PPSH for that ADS movement speed, and the Bullfrog for the large ammo round. Guys, if you got this far, and if you gathered anything from this video, smash that like button for me. If not, that's all good. Leave a dislike, maybe a comment where you think I've missed a top tier gun. Until next time, guys, happy grinding.